Hello everyone, welcome to you all. So today in this video I am going to discuss about one of the another black box testing technique, that is boundary value analysis, or we can say it's BVA, boundary value analysis, or we can say like BVA. The short form is that BVA. Any interviewer can ask you that what do you mean by BVA? So you have to remember that BVA means boundary value analysis. So boundary value analysis is a black box testing technique. So what do you mean by boundary value analysis? So boundary value analysis is a black box testing technique which is based on testing the boundary values of valid and invalid partition. So what do you mean by valid and invalid partition? I will discuss you by some good example. So don't worry about that. Now just focus on that. What do you mean by boundary value analysis? So boundary value analysis, the first point would be that boundary value analysis, or BVA, is a black box testing technique which is based on testing the boundary values of valid and invalid partitions. Every partition has its maximum and minimum values, and these maximum and minimum values are the boundary values of a partition. So, just give you one. So whenever we are telling that what do you mean by boundary value analysis, so there is some formula. So there is a formula that we have to maintain. So what the formula says that? Formula says that suppose if you have a range of value, suppose if you have a range of value between A and B, if you have a range of value in between A and B, A to B, so range of value A to B, then there is some formula, like what the formula? A plus 1 and A minus 1. Same for B plus 1, B plus 1 and B minus 1. So this is the formula. Suppose if you have a range of value between A to B, suppose if you have a range of value between A to B, then the formula for the boundary value analysis is that A plus 1, A minus 1, and B plus 1 and B minus 1. Now just look at the look at the definition. So what is the definitions of boundary value analysis that I have discussed? So in boundary value analysis technique, which is based on testing the boundary values of valid and invalid partition. Okay, and every partition has its maximum and minimum values, and these maximum and minimum values are the boundary values of a partition. Suppose there is a text field, and in the text field accept 1 to 5 digit. Suppose there is a text field, and the text field, so that text field is suppose accept 1 to 20 digit. That means A is nothing but 1 and B is nothing but 20. A to B. So A is 1, B is 20. So what would be the A? A equals to 1. So we can write like that: A equals to 1, and A plus 1 means 1 plus 1 is equals to 2, is equals to 2. And what is the A minus 1? 1 minus 1. A for 1. A is the 1. 1 minus 1. So that is 0. Same for B. B, what is the B value? B is 20. So B plus 1 means 20 plus 1. Nothing but 21. And what is the B minus 1? 20 minus 1 is equals to 19. That means if there is a field, if there is any text field, that text field values, the range of that text field value is A to B, or we can say 1 to 20. So only 1 to 20 digit can accept. Then how can we go for the boundary value analysis? So there is a simple formula: A plus 1 and A minus 1. That is for A range. And B plus 1, B minus 1. That is for B range. So as I have already told you that my text field accepts 1 to 20 digits. So only accepted value is 1 to 20. So the range is 1 to 20. So 1 is the A, 20 is the B. Right? A, A means 1. A plus 1 means 1 plus 1 equals to 2. And A minus 1 means 1 minus 1 equals to 0. Same for B. What is the B value? B value is the 20. 20 is the B value. What is the B plus 1? 20 plus 1 equals to 21 is the B plus 1, and 20 minus 1, that is B minus 1. So 19. So every partition has its maximum and minimum values, and these maximum and minimum values are the boundary values of a partition. A boundary value for a valid partition is a valid boundary value. So whenever there is a value for a valid partition, then we can say it's a valid boundary value. And a boundary value for an invalid partition is a invalid boundary value. So these are the definitions of boundary values analysis. Okay. So now this is a basic example. So let's try this example with some another scenario or some another step, some clear picture. Suppose, let's say there is a text field. Okay. So there is a text field. So this is a text field. I am naming it like it's a the text field. Text field. It's a text field. Okay. So it's a text field. And let's suppose this text field can accept, or we can say it's a age text field, or we can say it's a age text field. Age text field. Okay. So this text field age can accept, just say for example 10 to suppose 70. Okay. So accepted value is 10 to 17. This is the accepted values. The accepted value only 10 to 70 can be the accepted value. Now what is my formula for that boundary value analysis? A and A plus 1. I am giving some space so you guys can more understand that. A minus 1. Okay. This is the A value, and what is the B value? B and B plus 1 and B minus 1. So this is the formula. So here A is the 10 and B is the 70. So suppose 10, so A is the 10, so we can put like it's a 10. And what is A plus 1? So 10 plus 1, that means 11. And what is the A minus 1? That is 10 minus 1 equals to 9. Right? Equals to 9. And what is the B? B is the nothing but 70. So B is the 70. B value is the 70. So what is B plus 1? That is 70 plus 1. That is 71. And what is the B minus 1? That is 70 minus 1. That is 69. So this value we are getting now. So now if we put this value on that text field, then my 100% coverage is done. So we are giving some boundary here. So how is the boundary? A plus 1, A minus 1, B plus 1, B minus 1. If the range is in between A to B. Okay. So now what is the minimum boundary value here? What is the minimum boundary value? The minimum boundary value here is, that is nothing but, what is the minimum boundary value? 9. Okay. So we can, so these are the valid inputs. So we can say, so suppose the field accepts only 10 to 70 digit. So we have to put 10 and 11 and 9. Why 9? We have to put 9 as because we can say that 9 is less than 10. So we have to put that text field 9 also, and we have to check that the 9 is accepted values or not. And same for the 71. 71 is greater than 70. So we have to put that 71 also, and we have to check that 71 value is accepted for that text field or not. So that means what is the valid inputs? So valid inputs are here 10, 11, 69 and 70. So these four are the valid inputs because these four. So here what is the valid inputs here? So valid inputs. What is the valid inputs? Valid inputs are 10, 11, then 69 and then 70. These are the valid inputs because these all are in between 10 to 70. And what are the invalid inputs? Invalid inputs. Invalid inputs are 9 and what the next? 71. So these are the invalid inputs. Okay, so we have to whenever, so that is the funda of boundary value analysis. Okay, so we have to design the test cases of these 6 values. So we have to design that whenever we are writing any test cases, we have to design with that 6 values. Okay, because in that 6 values we are getting 2 values are the invalid inputs. That means it's a invalid test case, or we can say like it's a negative test cases, and these 4 values are the valid inputs. That means it's a positive test cases. That means we are covering both positive and negative test cases. So we can say that we are following 100% test case coverage here, right? Suppose I am giving you one more example. Suppose uh, uh, we have a text field, we have a field, and that field is suppose accepted value. So suppose this is one field, this is one text field, and this text field accept values are suppose 1 to, suppose the accepted values are 1 to 10. So the range should be 1 to 10 to accept that text field. That means whenever we are going for, whenever we will go for boundary value analysis technique, then what what should my test cases? So here also we can get 6 test cases. Like, so what is A value? A is the 1, and what is the B value? B is the 10. That means so A is A plus 1, A minus 1. What is A? So A is 1, and what is A plus 1? Nothing but A plus 1 plus 1 equals to 2. 1 plus 1 equals to 2. And what is the A minus 1? That is 0. And same for B. What is the B? B is 10. What is B plus 1? B plus 1 means B and means 10 plus 1 equals to 11. And what is the B minus 1? 10 plus 1 equals to 9. So here also we have to put these 6 test cases. Here we can also get 6 test cases. So here 0 is less than between is less than 1, so it's invalid, and 11 is greater than 10, that is also invalid test cases. So these are the invalid test cases, and here also these are the invalid test cases. Or if we can arrange that, like suppose what is the rule for that? A plus 1, A minus 1. So suppose if we are right like this, if we are right like this, so this is the A, suppose this is the A, so I am writing here, this is the A, one sec, so this is the A, here I'm writing it A, and here A minus 1, right? Here A minus 1, and here we are writing like A plus 1. Same for here B minus 1, B, and B plus 1. So if we write like this, A minus 1, A plus 1, B minus 1, B plus 1. Suppose if I am taking this example, so these values are taking 10 to 70 digits. So this text field can accept 10 to 70 digits. So what is the 10? So I'm just putting under that A. So A is the 10. And what is the B? So B is the 70. B is the 70. Now, what is A minus 1? That is 9. And what is A plus 1? That is 11. And same for B. What is the B minus 1? That is 69. And what is the B plus 1? That is 71. So, now it's very simple. Now it's very easy to understand. So these two are the invalid test case because it's beyond the range 10 to 70. So these are the valid test cases. These are the valid test cases. Only these are the valid test cases. Means whenever we are writing any test cases by using boundary value analysis, then we have to make sure that we have to write these 6 test cases. These 6 test cases we have to write. There only 2 are the invalid test cases or negative test cases, and in between the range these are the positive test cases. So now if we put 9 in that text field, then that text field is not accepting this 9 value. It's a negative test cases. Now we will put 10 here. So 10 is valid. 10 is accepted values. Now 11 is the accepted values. Now 69 is the accepted values. 70 is the accepted value. 71 is not accepted. Okay, this is an invalid input. So we are not putting 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 up to 70 digit, and we are now telling that yes, I have put all the value in between 10 to 70 and the text field is working perfectly fine. We are give some boundary here. So we are giving some boundary. So apart from that 60 test cases, 60 digit, we are only putting only 6 digit. So 10 to 70, 60 digits are there. So whenever we are checking by normal manual testing, then we have to put 60 digit here, and we have to make sure that all the accepted values are working perfectly fine or not. So this is a time consuming process. So that's why we will use boundary value analysis. So in that boundary value analysis, apart from that 60 test cases, we only use these 6 test cases, and it will save our time. Okay, and here we will get both positive and negative test case scenario. I mean 100% test case coverage. These are the concept of boundary value analysis. So you have to remember the one thing, that is the rule, that formula. A minus 1, A plus 1, B minus 1, B plus 1. If you remember that thing, then it's very easy boundary value analysis. So we have to just put the value, and that is accepted only for digits. Whenever there is some digit validation, digit ranges are there, then we will follow that boundary value analysis. And also in that boundary value analysis, we will get 100% test case coverage, because here we are getting some negative data and as well as some positive data. Okay, so now you guys are very much clear about what do you mean by boundary value analysis. If you are in the learning stage and if you heard that type of name, that boundary value analysis, that time you was shocked that what is the meaning of boundary value analysis. Now I think you guys are very much clear what do you mean by boundary value analysis, or what is the example of boundary value analysis, or what is the purpose, or what is the advantages of boundary value analysis. So I think this video will be very helpful for you. If you have any question, comment me. If you have any doubt, you also can comment me also, and share this channel to your nearest friend. If you guys like my video, one thumbs up and subscribe to my channel EduPaat and clicking on the bell icon. See you in the next videos with the another technique of black box testing. Thanks for watching.